had just a couple weeks ago. That was really, really funny. I mean, we had some really, really talented people, I thought, put on some really good acts.
And people from around, not just Modesto. There were people from like
the Bay Area. There's one from Detroit.
Wow. A lot of people coming through.
Yeah, it was super awesome, and I hope more people come to these open mic events. It's really something that we always try to put out every Thursday. So you have 7 projects. You said you have 7 solo album projects.
Right.
And EPs.
Uh-huh.
You were in 2 bands.
Uh-huh.
And have you done anything outside, like any stuff that's not necessarily music but would still be in the music industry?
When I was on the radio back in the day, I used to produce the morning show for KHOP.
Nice.
And I was third mic on there. And I was on every morning, and it was really exciting. People got to know me, and I got to know a lot of people around the Modesto area. So that was really fun until I quit that job and moved to San Francisco for 15 years. And there I worked in record stores and stuff like that. I didn't have the glamorous radio life.
What pushed you to Frisco?
I really want to move to San Francisco with my partner. We had been together about a year then. So we moved together, and it just was the big city, outside of Modesto.
Yeah.
To explore and live in. So back then it was cheaper.
And you were actively making music while you were in Frisco?
Yeah, I had a band called Brown Star.
Nice.
We played the Fillmore, which is kind of like a highlight of my San Francisco career. Yeah, we got to do that. We played a TV show, Bay TV. They featured us one day. We got to do KUSF radio. They played our songs, stuff like that. Live 105 played one of our records. So yeah, there's a lot to do in San Francisco, but ultimately it's not the same anymore. It's really hard.
Definitely not. It's really competitive.
Bands. Huh?
It's really competitive.
Oh, it's very competitive. I can't even imagine. I saw an article. Somebody's renting a bunk bed for like $1,200 a month, and they're getting it.
Really?
People are renting it out, and they're getting this. Somebody can live in a bunk bed for $1,200. It's ridiculous, but I love living in the Central Valley. I've lived here a lot of my life. I leave, I come back. I leave, I come back. But ultimately, I might leave again one day. Who knows? But for now, I try to be positive about where I live and try to, if I'm not having fun, maybe other people aren't having fun. Maybe we can get together and have some fun.
Yeah. I could definitely see where you're coming from in that, especially when it comes to travel and you see people, you want to bring kind of what you have to bring to the table, bring your culture, share your culture, I should say. I go out to Nevada, for example, and you see these bars that just have these huge stages.
Yeah.
And they love having people from California come play.
That's great.
And they love blue collar music, but they love having all kinds of music coming there anyway. Because Nevada isn't all just rednecks and cowboys.
I've been to Las Vegas. Not the same as.
Vegas is definitely not the same as the rest of Nevada. But Nevada has a lot of stuff going on that gets ignored, and playing music outside the world, especially if you're gonna go on an interstate tour or an international tour, you get to see the kind of places that love your music, and you had no idea. like Baxter's on here. He used to talk about he had fans in Germany. He had fans in Kyrgyzstan. These really random countries.
Yeah.
And on my YouTube channel, I have one view from North Korea. It's just it's just really weird and random. It
is random.
You never know where you get your fan base from, and traveling definitely encourages that. It definitely encourages people to get who you are, but also you get to know who they are, and you get to find some of your favorite music out there.
Yeah, I'd love to tour one day. Unfortunately, that wasn't in the cards for me and my music. But I did get to travel. Dave and I got to travel when we lived in England.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
We lived in England for a year. There was a band called Zabriskie that we met up with, and we got to jump on their tour bus and ride around with them for about 2 weeks.
Cool.
So we got to see, England, Wales, Scotland, just driving around, having them play at night, and us kind of just hanging out with them.
How long did you live in the UK?
About a year.
About a year. And you lived in London?
No, we lived in Nottingham.
Oh, okay.
Right in the middle. It just reminds me. I always say like Modesto's right in the middle of California.
Right,
Nottingham's like right in the middle of England.
And it's kind of funny because like the UK, the British Isles itself is roughly the same size as California stretched out.
It's
pretty weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
It
seemed kind of small.
Yeah, it is. They got 64 million people living on that in that place.
A lot of people.
And like California has barely 40 million.
I don't even know the numbers.
So it's kind of weird to think about all those people scrunched up on there, but yet you go out there, this beautiful scenery.
It's gorgeous.
I know. Yeah.
That thing called the Green Belt, where they don't, build on it.
Right.
So there's a lot of places where there's just open. It's not a park. It's just
open.
The Green Belt. You can't build on that. And people respect that. It's very different. Very different there.
And it was just super neat. It's just super neat to see
it was
that.
Interesting. It was fun.
And then so you were living out there, and what were you doing out there?
I know, right? I was working. I was trying to get my music heard. It was kind of silly to move out there for that reason, but there was a lot of reasons to move, and maybe they weren't all good reasons, but ultimately we did it. And then we came back, moved back to San Francisco for a couple years, and then came back to the Valley.
When you were in the UK, were you trying to go for that European club music scene?
A little bit.
Yeah, because I could see you rocking in that. Probably not in London.
No.
But like Berlin.
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
Totally.
Warsaw.
Yeah.
Like all those places, they got crazy club
those
scenes.
Places, but yeah, I see what you're going for.
Yeah, because like a lot of those places, those are like the big club scenes what I've heard of, and it's not like that London doesn't have club scene either. Right. But it's like if you go for punk rock, are you going to be going out to Omaha, or are you going to be going to LA?
Probably
LA. And it's got the same thing.
I don't know. And Omaha might have some rad punk bands we don't even know about.
Probably. And
you're out there.
There's some really cool. There's some really cool bands that come from all over the place.
Absolutely.
Like Pliny comes out of New Zealand. A lot of people don't even know who those guys are. They make prog metal, kind of like modern prog metal. Mm-hmm. They're pretty neat. They make some really neat stuff. And there's a comedian band that comes out of Arizona that's been around for a few years. Like I remember from back in high school, what are they called again? I just had the name on the tip of my tongue too. They made like the Psycho Stick. That's what there's some really funky guys, really funny guys. Then there's the Rubber Bandits. They're from the UK. They wear grocery bags on their heads when they make videos.
Oh.
And all these guys, they come from really just random places.
Yeah.
And the way they get out there, YouTube.
Yeah, I love YouTube. It's helped me a lot. My channel's had some success, so
yeah.
I enjoy filming people, putting them up. Of course, all my music's up there, and I want to put other people on there too. So when we do the open mics, you'll see me filming a lot, and then later I go and I upload them, that night or the next day. I'll send the links to the artists, and usually they're okay with that. I usually ask in advance. Can I tape you? Can I record you on my phone? And usually they say yes.
Yeah, one of these times I'd like to start recording the open mics in a professional setting where
that would be cool.
Because on the bar right behind there, they got the light on there. You could definitely set up a camera stand on there.
Absolutely.
And run out the mixture into an interface.
Could even broadcast it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be pretty nice to do too.
That'd be fun.
Notes for later.
Definitely something to work on, something to dream about.
But now we're talking about the live music scene. Have you played anywhere live other than doing the open mic that we've been doing?
It's been a long time, but I have. The last show that I professionally did was a few years ago. I got to open for Annabella from Bow Wow Wow here in Modesto at a place called Heroes. It's not even there anymore. It's not called Heroes. Mida Goodwin set that up and asked me to open for her, so I was eternally grateful. So that was kind of cool. She was really neat. We got pictures together, and she was awesome and just very supportive. It's hard to be a track act, so I came out and sang 7 of my songs to pre-recorded CD, and that's really hard to do.
Oh, yeah.
Keep people interested.
Yeah.
So, that's what I did, and then she came out with her band, but, it worked. It was a good show.
And how long ago was that?
Maybe 5 years ago.
Wow, we're talking about.
I haven't really done live
in
a long time. I need a band.
Yeah, and your music that really does bring up some really good vibes. A lot of people really do like it.
Thank you.
And I could definitely sounds good. There's definitely some good stuff in there.
Thank you.
I do enjoy it. I think you just need to go out there and just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what's stopping a lot of people from doing it. Yeah, I know it stops myself from doing it. Mostly work, working all the time. But
right.
I mean, I could just go out there and just play my solo stuff if I wanted and get more attention.
Definitely.
I like focusing on the professional audio side, of course.
And you're really good at that.
Thank you. I've learned from the best. And I try my best at it too. And I like doing music like a lot. I really like playing with Vanessa and people who let me come out and jam with them and whatnot.
Right. That's Vanessa D. Valencia.
Yes, and someday she'll be on here as well.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. It's just
I can give you a whole list of people you should interview.
Please.
I'm sure you've got a list.
I've been building a list. Like I got Big Earl. He wants to come on. I have Noah Spencer. He's gonna be running for city council. I see Hyro from Valley Wolf wants to come on as well. It's a whole different list of people. There you go.
You've got a whole.
These are all great people that I consider to be really good people to consider on here. I mean, Mark wants to come on as well. So it's just a list of people that I definitely would love to come on. Hit me up in the DMs.
All right.
Let's back to some of your some of your music stuff. Have you been writing any music lately?
Yeah. I have a whole album ready to go.
Really?
I just have been working so hard this summer. We were going to record it this summer. I have a brand new album ready to go. Like 10 songs.
Nice.
And I put an album out 2 years ago. So I'm ready to put a new one out. I just need to get to the studio and record it.
What's your previous album called?
Undercut.
Undercut by Moon Trent. Check it out.
Thank you.
And what's your new album going to be called?
Stretch Marks.
Stretch Marks. Very fitting. That's really good.
Thank you.
Do your albums normally have a, what do you call it?
Like a theme?
A theme, yeah.
Not really.
No, not really a theme. You just put songs together and push it out there?
I put them together, and then I work with this producer and kind of decide what order they need to go in, and, you know, it's a lot of people that go in to make an album. Even though my name goes on it, there's tons of people.
Oh, yeah, it goes
tons of people.
It goes from the mixer to the guy who does the mastering.
Oh, yeah, tons of
everyone
people.
in between. Like, sometimes you have 3 producers on a track, and to me it's a little ridiculous, but, you know, it does happen.
Sure.
People outsourcing talent. Like, if you want a guitar solo, you gotta bring in a studio musician. I mean, all this stuff. It's true. You gotta
right.
have. Sometimes you see 9 people on a song, and maybe 4 people were the only ones that actually wrote it. and
that's the way you do it, I guess. I don't know. You want to have a hit record? I just like a guitar, bass, drums, and me doing a couple of my songs. And that's all I want, is to just make this new record. So I'm gonna hopefully get it out.
I'm excited to hear
next
it.
Year. I don't know. It's already July.
How long have you been working on it?
Well, we haven't started working on it, but I wrote it last year.
Oh, okay.
And then some of the songs were recorded a couple years before that when we made Undercut. There's like 3 songs that didn't make it to the album that we're going to include on this new album.
Cool.
So, I don't know. Just working on it, working through it. Haven't really got too many more details other than
so
the date.
So all you gotta do is get it in to record, huh?
Yeah. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, that would be not. The sooner the better, because I'm sure there's some great stuff that people want to hear. I definitely want to hear.
I would like to think that. Thank you.
Let's see. When you were on the morning show of K-Hop, where's the K-Hop, right?
Yeah.
The morning. So what you were answering phone calls, or what were you doing on there?
I started out in the evening answering phone calls for Casanova. That was his name.
Okay.
At night, he did the night show. Then I started doing kind of like answering phones for the morning show. Like if someone would call and win something, like caller number 9, I would be the one to pick up the phone and tell them to like, I'm good. Tell them to like, you know, I'd get their name and address, and we'd mail out a cassette or a CD or whatever we got. So somehow I ended up writing some bits for the morning show, and it just kind of spiraled into, I got to work there, got to talk on mic. Pretty soon I was producing the show, they said. So they would say that at the end of every show, produced by Moon, and all this kind of stuff. So I was like 18 years old. It was a lot to handle, because it was the #1 station in Modesto at the time. Arbitron rated #1, all this kind of stuff. Actually, KHOP is still #1, I believe. So it's kind of cool to be associated with them all these years later, asking me questions about KHOP. But that's how I started. I actually started at KCSS in Turlock at the University of Stanislaus. I wanted to be on the radio, so I took a broadcasting class, and I earned my radio license. So I went into KHOP, and I said, I've got this radio license. What can I do? And then that's where it started. I just walked in there one day, and the secretary introduced me to the DJs. It was as simple as that.
Nice.
It was really easy to get on the radio back then.
Yeah. Now you gotta.
I have no idea how to get back on the radio. I don't even know if I'd want to be on the radio anymore.
I think you could make a good late night show host on one of these radios.
Possibly, I don't know. They usually syndicate all the night shows now. It's like somebody from LA or somebody from New York, or
that way they can have a monopoly over what they can say and think.
Probably.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of the channels are owned by corporations, so it's very different.
Yeah.
When I worked at KHOP, it was owned by the Fuller Jeffrey Corporation, and it was just Fuller Jeffrey Broadcasting. It was like a family, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So it went from there to all kinds of different companies owning it. I've worked for Clear Channel. I've worked for all kinds of stations.
And it's about the intent that what they give out when it comes to this content.
Right.
And a lot of people, when they make this content, they're only interested in making the money or making the profit off it, which, sure, you could do that, but you're not expect criticism. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
Expect plenty of criticism.
There's a lot of backlash in radio. A lot of people I know don't even listen to the radio.
Yeah.
And I still listen to the radio. I love to hear how it's produced. I love radio. And I think there's too many commercials nowadays. We used to play 3 or 4. Now there's 7 or 8.
Yeah,
between every song.
And they're longer a lot of the
times. Very
times.
long.
Yeah.
A lot of air time goes to commercials. But it's expensive to run a station. It's expensive to pay people. It takes a lot. A friend of mine just started a brand new station out of Wesley. I should give her a plug. KCBP, I believe it is.
KBCP?
Yes.
KBCP?
No, CBP. Yeah, I know. KCBP. It's 95.5 FM.
95.5. And what do they do on there?
It's community radio.
Oh, okay. Okay,
so they play local bands. They have community, local issues.
Nice.
And it's all about the Central Valley.
Okay.
It just started recently.
That's really good. 95.5. Okay, so
you should check it out.
Definitely, yeah. I would love to check that out. And I encourage all of you guys to check that out, especially if you live in the Modesto area.
Yeah, community radio is where it's at.
They're out of Wesley, so just straight down Grayson Road.
Just tune them in. It comes in really strong, 95.5. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's basically what I did for them. When I lived in LA, I used to call the radio stations a lot. They all knew who I was because I was like 16, 17 trying to call in and talk to like Elvis Costello and try to call in and talk to like, I don't even remember who all I talked to on the radio. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. So then when I came back to Modesto, I was like, I should just be on the radio. I was convinced, and it worked for about 3 years.
Cool. And that, like, so like when you were young, you knew that's what you wanted to do.
For a time, that's what I wanted to do. I knew, yeah. I was focused.
Like you really, that's like you had the ambitious state of mind to go after that radio pursuit.
Yeah, I pursued it.
Is there anything you would say to someone aspiring wanted to do what you like to do the radio stuff, to do anything in a kind of industry?
Do anything you want to do, just try it. One time living in San Francisco, I wanted to work at the San Francisco Zoo. So David said, why don't you call the San Francisco Zoo? He got me out the phone book. We opened it up, San Francisco Zoo, job line. Called the job line. They had an opening in the accounting. So I got a job, and Dave got a job in the children's zoo. So we worked at the San Francisco Zoo one summer.
Nice.
Just because we decided, let's go work at the zoo. So we're feeding giraffes and It was weird. We worked there.
Well, how'd that go?
It was great. Worked there for the summer, and then we went to other jobs.
So you said you were doing accounting there?
I had to count money. All the money that came into the zoo every day from the ticket sales and the food sales would all come into my office, and we'd count it all up. And then about every 3 months, the fountain, they would dredge the fountain. All the change that people had thrown into the fountain, we had to take that and count that too. And process that and put that in the bank. People's wishes. They took all the money out of the fountain. I couldn't even believe that. Anyway, I don't work there anymore, so I can talk about it.
That's hilarious.
It's a good story.
Man, I sure wish something happened with this coin, Yeah, goes right into my pocket.
That's right. Yeah, it was a big ripoff.
Oh, that's
reminded me of Goonies when he throws, this one was my wish. I'm taking them back. Taking them all back.
Hey, maybe if you collected the coins in there, your wish would come true faster.
Maybe we get all their wishes. I don't know.
You might either that
every penny. They want
either you get everyone else's wishes, or you have enough funding for your wish.
Just go do what you want to do.
And so now this is actually interesting. So in San Francisco, what were probably some of the most weirdest jobs you worked at? What were the most just interesting
Really?
jobs?
I can't really talk about some of them, but there were some I worked for some really weird places. I'm trying to think of something I can talk about on the radio, or on YouTube or Twitch or wherever we are. You put me on the spot now. I liked working at the YMCA in San Francisco Presidio. I worked there for almost 5 years. Before that, I worked at the bowling alley in the Presidio. So that was an interesting job. A lot of celebrities would come through. Robin Williams came through one time. Yeah, it was kind of neat. He lived close to there. We would see him riding his bike around. We knew where his house was. He had a dinosaur in the backyard. His head stuck over the fence. It was kind of neat. Sharon Stone lived over there. We'd see her occasionally. Saw her at church one time. We went to Glide Memorial Church, and she was there in the front row. We're like, oh my goodness, look at that. So, you run into a lot more celebrities in San Francisco than you do out here, even though a lot of celebrities do come out here.
It's surprising. Yeah, we had Kirk Hammett lives in Tracy. MC Hammer lives in Tracy.
Wow. I remember when Kirk Hammett lived in San Francisco on Divisadero. He had a 2-story house. I knew where it was, and he had merry-go-round horses in all the windows, facing out. And he came into a hardware store where I worked one time, and I got to talk to him. And he goes, "You must be in a band." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "What's your band called?" I go, "Brown Star." And he goes, "I don't think I'll ever forget that one." So that was pretty funny. So that was the one time I met somebody from Metallica.
Yeah, Kirk Hammett's a character, that's for sure.
I saw Lars parked out his house one time.
Cool.
I didn't talk to him. He's kind of not one of my favorites. So
I think Lars lives around here too somewhere.
Probably.
I think he used to live in Tracy as well before Kirk moved there.
A lot of people.
It's interesting.
In Tracy, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll even see Wayne Brady was in series one time. The GameStop, I walked in there and Wayne Brady's just sitting there buying a game,
chilling.
And it's I just made a good deal, because he knew I was looking at him like this because he knew what I was signing him on. I know who
Recognize
you are.
him?
Fuck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of these guys are so self-aware, and it's so great. And these are moments that you kind of just don't really get to record or anything like that. It kind of sucks.
I know.
I saw Eddie Van Halen eating lunch at LAX.
Wow.
I was lost in LAX. I saw him through a window, and I was like,
wow.
He had his guitar case and everything,
Come on.
glasses and all, and he's just
full
sitting
on
there.
Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, and he's just straight up just eating behind this window, and I'm just thinking, this guy's just having a regular day, man. It's just a regular, normal day for him.
Yeah, totally.
And these guys, they look the part, but to them, it's a regular fucking day.
Yeah.
Just like how it is to you. So it's just super funny. So you see them. Wow, they do normal shit too.
Totally.
Surprising.
Yeah. Gotta eat sometime.
Right.
Eddie Van Halen, that's something. That's impressive.
Yeah, LAX is where you find everyone walking around. Like, because they're always going somewhere.
Yeah.
They're like, these people who have money, they're always traveling.
Yeah, definitely. And LAX is the airport.
It is.
To get to the other side.
Yeah, it's always green on the other side, so they say.
I lived in El Segundo, which is the next town over from LAX. I was just talking on the phone about this morning. I was complaining that it's like airport city because there's so many planes that fly over El Segundo. I went to high school there.
Oh.
For
that sounds
year.
Interesting.
It was interesting. And, LAX was pretty cool. I didn't spend much time there, but I liked the beach communities more. Redondo, Manhattan, Huntington, Long Beach. I liked the coast. So I ended up switching schools and ended up graduating from Miracosta High in Manhattan Beach, California, a year early because I took the test to get out of school. I couldn't do it anymore.
So your diploma is from Manhattan Beach?
Yeah.
And then did you like brag about that? I went to school.
Not really. It was independent studies, so it wasn't that exciting. I know they had surfing for PE though, because it was right there on the beach.
Nice.
Boogie board or whatever. That was part of the PE.
It's
pretty cool. Yeah,
really
Southern
cool.
California is so different.
Yeah,
I just love it.
You ain't finding that out here, fellas.
No beach. No beach.
No surfing for your PE credits.
But everything's so close. It's all right there. Just go.
You might as well walk.
Just get in the car and drive, or take the bus.
Yeah, and some places are so close you can just walk down there.
Somebody was telling me not San Francisco, Modesto Airport. You can fly to San Francisco and
you
back and
used
forth.
To be able to. Now you can fly to LAX.
Now it's LA.
But before, in the 70s and the 80s, it was San Francisco.
I think they stopped it, but when I lived there in Merced, they had a airport that would fly you to LA and round trip for $99.
Wow.
I know, and I wanted to take that so bad and just kind of fly there, get off the airplane, just kind of look around and get back on the plane and come back home. No hotel room, just kind of spend 24 hours on the strip. But I never did do that, so that was just kind of an idea because it was so cheap, round trip.
I've been to LA more times than I say that I want to go to LA. I worked for a moving company.
Did I say LA? I meant Las Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah, it was to Vegas.
Merced used to fly to Vegas, really.
It did.
That is interesting because I know Merced still flies LA.
Yeah, I guess everyone stopped their Las Vegas flights or something, or maybe you can transfer.
Yeah, it's probably easier to transfer because
we flew to Vegas in January, and we flew out of Stockton. From Stockton Airport to Las Vegas, I think it was 45 minutes, an hour. So fast. It was worth it.
That is a really fast flight.
Drive to Stockton. Do not drive to Vegas.
That is a really fast flight. I mean, it's a 3-hour flight from Sacramento to LA.
No, it's not.
It's
Sacramento to LA.
Strangely,
it can't be that long.
They fly slow. I don't know what they're doing. I was on there this isn't right.
You're looking at your watch.
Yeah, exactly. This is ridiculous. We must be circling around too many times.
You went through a time zone.
Oh, right.
A black hole or something.
I'm starting to think because when the planes take off, they're facing north, or they're facing east. So that
for the headwind and all that.
I'm starting to think that they loop around and do a huge loop, and then come back over the Central Valley, thinking they could fool us into spending more money on their tickets so they could waste more fuel.
Is that what you really think?
Yeah. So then they'll fly.
Okay, we're ending this interview. I'm kidding.
Then they'll fly over San Bernardino because you look below, it looks kind of deserty, and you're wondering, wait, we're going to LA, right? You loop back around and you fly and you land down at LAX, and you're wondering, why didn't we just fly straight south? These guys. Right. They don't want to answer that.
It's weird. If you look at a map of the airspace, there's so many planes in the air at any given moment. You know what I mean? This is so much air traffic nowadays.
There's an app for that, an air traffic app.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can look on your phone and say what's above me. It'll tell you the plane
number, the flight number, where it's going, where it's flying from. Crazy.
Too much information at our fingertips.
TMI.
Too much.
TMI. Big TMI. Where are we at on time, Austin?
Yeah, where are we at?
We're just past half an hour.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So that's, it's going pretty quick.
What else you want to know?
Yeah, right? So, let's see here. I want to talk about San Francisco a little more.
Okay.
So, living in San Francisco, you said you moved in and out of there probably about, what, 3 times? 2 times?
Uh-huh.
And were both these times you were with Dave?
Yeah, we've been together 28 years.
Wow.
So we met in college. We met here at MJC, at Modesto
Okay.
Junior College. We were both going to school, and we just kind of met, moved in together, became partners, moved to San Francisco, and we've been together ever since.
And you guys are married, right?
We're domestic partners.
Oh, okay.
We did not decide to do that,
Okay.
even though you can.
Yeah.
We haven't opted to do that. We
Okay.
just are happy how we are.
That's good. Yeah, I'm very
Being partners
very happy
is-
for you guys.
is
Yeah,
good,
that's
yeah,
awesome. 28
yeah.
years is a long
It's
time.
a long time.
Yeah.
I'm getting older, so yeah, 28 years.
You gonna,
Almost 30.
yeah, you gonna plan on doing something special for the big old 3-0?
Probably. Yeah, we'll probably do something special.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Hey, maybe you do that 24-hour Vegas trip.
Maybe. Hey, sounds good. Dave, if you're listening, we're going to Vegas. Let's go.
Right? That'd
Actually,
be,
let's do 48
fun.
hours.
Damn, man. I may as well make the whole weekend.
We went, it's funny that you would mention Vegas because we did go in January, like I said. We went to go see Lady Gaga,
Cool.
which was crazy.
Yeah.
So we flew down there, saw her at the, I can't even remember, I want to say the Regency, but I think I got it wrong. I forget where we were. So we saw Lady Gaga, and then we went back to our hotel. It was the same place where she was playing. Went upstairs, and then I was like, I can't sleep. I got to go back to the casino. So I went down to the casino. Lady Gaga's band is there. So I got pictures with all the dancers and the band. She wasn't there, but all her dancers were downstairs. And then I really wanted to meet the guitar player, Tim. So I go, where's Tim? And they go, oh, he's over there talking to David Arquette. I was like, okay, I'll kind of back off. So all these celebrities were there. It was crazy. Everyone came to Vegas to see Lady Gaga when it first opened.
That's
So
awesome.
That was a nice celebrity watching day, too. I didn't get any pictures with David Arquette, but I met him.
That is pretty awesome.
He just said hi. I said hi. That was it. Didn't really shake his hand or anything.
I remember the last show at the Fat Cat, the Snoop Dogg show.
Oh, wow.
And that was really cool.
Did you get to meet him?
It was kind of more like a thanks for doing the sound, guys, kind of a thing, you know.
Nice.
It was still really cool.
Yeah,
I would say.
I love Snoop.
Yeah, because
crazy.
he's very when it comes like when he actually understands basically. He knows people work hard in this industry.
Yeah.
So and people a lot of think he's like, oh, he's still got that kind of thug in him, but no one's. If you actually watched his West Coast TV stuff,
Yeah.
like, and if you see him on Trailer Park Boys and that's his genuine self. Like he's actually that nice and he's
Wow.
actually that legit.
Isn't he like a father now? And
Yeah,
all
he's
calmed down.
Oh yeah, I mean
Went and
he's
did that Jamaican album.
yeah. Oh yeah, he was Snoop Lion for a few
Snoop
years.
Lion.
Yeah,
3 years
and-
it was.
Yeah, it was about 3. Yeah, that was really a changing point in his life because like before, you know, he was still kind of linking on to that kind of early '90s kind of attitude.
Right.
But I mean, he's always made some good music. I've
Oh, yeah.
always liked it.
I appreciate Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. And him being in the stoner community, of course.
Yeah.
It's a big plus. I mean, he gives California that
That
extra
must
credit.
have had a lot of smoke in that fat cat.
Yeah, yeah. There's.
I got to tear those curtains out.
Yeah, I was hoping there was a fog machine, but I was lied to.
It was not a fog machine, but
It was Snoop by himself.
oh wow, I believe it. So you did sound for him?
We did the one of the last shows where we just set up the speakers, like kind of like what I did, but I didn't run the board or anything. I mean,
I see.
I just helped set
You
up
helped
every
set it
equipment,
up.
you know,
That's cool.
Just stagehanded. And
That's important.
that's still, I mean, yeah, 'cause I
Very
did the
important.
stagehand for Manhattan Steamroller, the Blue Man Group, you know, all those guys.
Wow.
And it's fun and interesting, but like, you know, it's not your night, so it's even more interesting when you get to see how someone else, like how someone else wants to set up,
Yeah.
and how it sounds at the end of the night. But I didn't get to do that a lot when I was working at Gallo Center,
Yeah.
because they just send you home.
How long did you work at Gallo
You know?
Center?
I was there from 2015 to 2017, so I was there for about 2
Wow.
years.
Wow. I've only
I
seen 2 bands there.
Yeah, I quit working there after Eric Vos quit because when he retired, he was like family man. He's just done. He doesn't want to do any of that. But I came to work every day at least 30 minutes early.
Yeah.
So I needed a place to put my bike and everything, and so I was just ready to work. And Eric, he would call me personally and say, "Hey, I need you to come in these days, these hours."
Right.
Yes, sir. I'll be right there. Once he retired, I never got those phone calls. They started using this shitty app.
Oh.
I never got any notifications on the app. Yeah, so they said, oh, you were on the schedule. It's like, well, I never saw my name on the schedule.
Oh, no.
And you say it's on the app.
Oh, no.
And I'm using your app. So I quit. It was the, I guess I was being afforded the, what do you call it, the convenience of being called directly. But at the same time, I was a hard worker, and I
put 2 years in.
I put 2 years in, showing up early every day, an hour at least. Yeah. Whether I got there on foot or on a bike.
Right, you were there.
I was there.
Ready to work.
So.
Well, that's a shame.
It was a little bit of a shame, but at the same time, I had to move on anyway.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to see a lot of the shows. I just got to set up. I just got to put them together and tear them down, and load trailers, and. I've done that my whole life already, and I'm still doing it, and I'm going to continue to do it. Yeah. And it's just not really that fun when you see setup and don't get to see after the setup, and only just get to see the teardown. Yeah. And that's why I like doing the more local shows, the smaller venues, and doing the open mics and whatnot.
It's so fun.
It's the setup is fun, the event is fun, and the teardown's fun.
Yeah.
Because even afterwards, you get to hear people say, "Yeah, man, it sounded good," or whatever. You always hear people just talk like that. But also, sometimes you're hearing people say, "Hey, I have a show coming up. I might need some sound or whatever. I'm not sure if it's going to happen in the next few months or so, but I'm just going to. But I have a show I'm planning. Like, okay, sure, let me know. We'll get it on the schedule." And then whatever bands I got going on, price them out, and it's like those small moments that people kind of forget about. I'm sure like when you do music and you get off stage, and people say, hey, I got a show coming up, I'd like you to play it. It's that part that people don't appreciate.
Yeah.
It's the meeting the people and getting able to advance in their career.
Rubbing shoulders.
Yeah, exactly.
Elbows. You got to get in there and meet people. It's great to be on Facebook. It's great to be on everything. But you definitely have to come down to this open mic. You have to go support local bands. You have to go buy people's records. You have to do more than just like their song.
Yeah, and it's liking it and sharing it is definitely important. Don't stop doing that.
Don't stop doing that.
Like just doing that isn't sometimes isn't enough. I mean, if you do have Patreon, for example, and you are a patron of someone's, I mean, that's definitely that's on your own free will to do that. No one's asking you to do that.
Yeah.
But you're still doing it, which is awesome. That's amazing. That means you're supporting the content. And you can support the content in a variety of ways. There's free ways to do it, but just doing the free stuff all the time for everyone that you like, I mean, it's not just enough sometimes. Buy the records, buy the CDs. I try to every time Alaloon puts out a CD, I try to buy one.
Every time who?
Alaloon, the reggae band.
I don't know.
With Mark Osaw. That's his band.
That's a great name, though.
Yeah, it's To the Moon. They're really good music around here. They make people dance all the time.
You know what? I have heard that name. I just don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I've heard that name a lot, actually.
They're really cool guys. I do sound from quite often.
Cool.
I mean, recently, not so much, but...
Sounds like you know a lot of people. Probably more than I do.
I'm going to say probably not. I mean, I know people from Modesto exclusively.
Well, that's what I mean.
But I know
in the valley than I've been out of circulation for a long time.
Yeah, I
see people, but I'm not everywhere.
That's true. Yeah, you gotta know the people who are around now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like a lot of people who are still around now have been around for at least 20 years.
You're right.
So
there's
I mean,
a lot of lifers.
There's a lot of people who are still doing the game. Like Irene still is. I'm pretty sure she's been making music for a while. Patty Steele Davis. She's been making music for 20 years.
I don't know her.
With let's see here.
And then
Tim Allen
before that.
I think Irene's been doing music for a while.
Irene. Oh yeah, she's been in the Fembots. She's been in Lovecore. She does Lovecore now. She's been in Adeline. I followed her whole career. I'm a huge fan of Irene.
And I know she got some really good stuff going on. And her solo acts are really nice too.
Oh, absolutely. She's on my channel. A couple of her songs are on my channel actually.
Yeah, and it just keeps going. I mean, the fact that these people are out there playing, getting more people out there to come play, bring out their own diverse set of musical values, as I like to say, because there's I think a lot of people think too much about the genre per se. I mean, it's important to have a basis of where you want to belong in terms of where your audience is going to be. But I don't think I'm going out there and just play metal. Okay, well that could be anything. I mean, that's I could. There's a lot of metal bands out there, and there's a lot of metal sounds. And with hip hop, same thing. Like, well, I want to do trap. Okay, well there's deep South trap. There's Pacific Northwest trap. I mean, what do you want to do? I mean, there's a lot of different styles.
There's a lot of choices.
You know, it's important to have like a genre to go kind of base yourself around, but not, you know, a lot of people don't really know how to do that anymore.
Speaking of genres,
make music, and I like it, but
this is really different from what I do. But I really like Cole Hinkle.
Cole
and Amy. They are amazing together.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah.
Oh my God, I mean that's my number one right now. I play them over and over and over. I play their music all the time.
Yeah, they're
just too good.
Cole and Amy are actually on the list too.
Cole and Amy, you gotta get them in here.
They definitely gotta come on here. Maybe next week.
They're very cool.
You know, let's see. I have to see them.
I really like them.
Yeah,
they're nice people too.
They're very. I mean, I think. See, Amy's toured the States quite a few times.
Yeah.
And like,
she's very accomplished.
And it's, I don't know. Cole's and Amy been playing together for a long time.
You know what? I just met Cole and Amy when they showed up at the open mic. I've only known them for 3-4 months. It seems.
Yeah, because I mean, I've known Cole from before, and I've seen Amy from before, but I've never seen them playing together till recently.
Yeah, I'm not sure when they joined up, but it's a great.
They're a great dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, they're my number one right now.
Yeah.
Like, even before I knew who they were, I was like, who is this Cole Hinkle? So I would be playing his stuff on YouTube. Fantastic. I have not heard a song I don't like yet.
And these are all talented individuals, for sure.
A lot of talented people around here.
And, like, Big Earl.
Yeah, Big Earl's great.
Like, have you
Poorhouse Millionaires.
Oh, yeah. Have you heard his recent EP?
No.
It's super good. I love it.
But
he sent it to me in email.
I know he sang on one of the new tracks coming out from Tractor Boy. It's called Duet with the Devil.
Really?
And he plays the devil.
Nice.
On the song. So anybody look up that one, Duet with the Devil by Tractor Boy.
Feet Big Earl.
Feet Big Earl.
That just rolls off the tongue so nicely.
I just saw them at Queen Bean recently. I think it was
Poorhouse Millionaires or Big Earl and the
Big Earl and Crying Shame. I think they played for Patio Fest.
Okay,
at Queen Bean. I think we went down there for a little bit. I try to see everything like Porch Fest, Patio Fest, Fest. I try to go to all of them.
Yeah, I tried it. It's hard to. Now I'm definitely going to.
I like to go see Laser Voodoo do their thing down at the Plaza when they have the concerts.
Oh, the concerts in the Plaza?
Concerts in the Plaza.
Yeah, because I know
Brian Friend and Shannon Friend run that, and they do great.
Yeah, because they sometimes they partner up with Mark and they do for the sound.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're all friends. They all know each other.
It's
a good community here.
Yeah.
It's very fertile. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very vibrant.
Yeah, and
different things going on.
It's competitive, but it's not competitive to where stepping on each other's toes.
No, I don't see that here.
We call out the people who do, because the people who step on each other's toes do it for dramatic reasons. They don't do it for anything else.
Oh, really?
And I mean, I'm sure I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm sure you could come up with some names.
There's some drama, sure, occasionally.
But you know, around here, I mean, you could ask someone, say, hey, you know, I'm new to sound, and I'm wondering if I could help you out next week on your next show. And most of the time, it's like, yeah, I mean, for sure. Like bands like doing a show is like, hey, you know, as your next show, if you need someone to open for you, I'd like to open for you or whatever. It's this one of those communities where you could definitely receive a yes for the answer when you ask them for help within the industry is what I should say. Trying to phrase this properly to make it make sense.
Yeah.
You come here, people are just very easygoing, very easy to work with, basically. And there's only a few very exception to the rules.
There's always a few bad apples.
And yeah, it's kind of sad, really, when. But at the same time, we all know who they are. Yeah. I mean, we all. It's kind of funny. They have like the very obvious names that we're not going to mention on here.
Good. I don't want anyone coming to get me.
Yeah. But you know, it's pretty funny. I had a question, and my train of thought derailed so hard.
Woo, crazy train.
Yeah, it straight up blasted out all of my thoughts. Full on derailment in the middle of nowhere.
Are we up to like an hour already? Okay. Thank you.
So,
47 minutes.
Yeah. I guess from here, I don't have anything else to ask you. If you want, at this point, it's like free write part of the essay. If you want to,
okay.
If you want to tell our viewers anything.
I would just like to encourage people that are in the area to come on down and check out our open mic at the Brave Bull. It happens every Thursday. We sign up at about 8:30 or 9, and we go till we close 11, 12. It depends on how many people want to do it. Nick is here with GottaDo Productions doing the sound every week. Melinda's in Canada right now. Hi, Melinda, if you're listening. But we miss her. She'll be back in a couple weeks. And we just try to host and have a good time and encourage people to come down and do their thing at the People's Club.
That's right. People's Club being the Brave Bull on 9th Street, Modesto, California. So we encourage people to come from anywhere. We don't care. Just come support the music and bring or comedy.
Yeah.
Or anything. Whatever, really.
Open mic. Come play a harp.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do. Just come on down.
Yeah, do some opera core for us.
Right. Opera core? Is that a genre?
It's a callback to last week.
Okay. Tell me later.
Yes.
So that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have anything else to add?
I don't know what else to add except thank you for inviting me today.
Yeah, of course.
I'm glad to have this interview.
Yeah.
And thank you to Austin for running the board. And that's about all I have to say.
Yeah, and of course we'll have you on again sometime in the future.
Yeah, maybe promoting my next album in 6 months or something.
If Dave wants to come on, he's more than welcome to come on as well.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I was going to bring him today, and it just didn't work out. I want to stay at home with the pups.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right on. Thank you, Nick.
All right, yes, no problem. And that will be it.
Peace out.